I like things that are challenging. Things that challenge, that's where I find passion.
Rhino Charge has been created by Rhino Ark as a fundraising event to make sure that Rhino Ark can continue implementing conservation initiatives in Kenya mountain forest.
To me, it's just a sport that I really enjoy. We want to raise money towards this cause.
Those other people out there, you ask them, where is the water coming? They say, from the tap. But to know there's more than that. It's a conservation work we're doing.
"65 vehicles, 390 men and women, all avid supporters of conservation and off-road driving, are here in Kalepo, northern Kenya, on the ready for the annual Rhino Charge Challenge. They are prepared to take up the grueling challenge of driving through thick forests, ravines, rocks and rivers, with the goal of reaching all the set 13 checkpoints on a trackless terrain in the shortest distance possible. It is a difficult 10-hour competition, with only 40 or so of the 65 vehicles completing the 13 checkpoint circuit. John Kanyali, one of only 4 indigenous Kenyans in this challenge, is ready. He has done it for the last 13 years, but still, it never gets any easier.
I like things that are challenging. Things that challenge, that's where I find passion.
Also featuring in this competition is Peter Kinyua, a veteran of 16 years in the rally. He too is in the race to try to win the prestigious accolade of becoming the first indigenous Kenyan ever to win this challenge.
I've done a lot of motorsports since I was young. I still do the rally raid from time to time. So to me, it's just a sport that I really enjoy.
John and Peter arrived here yesterday, and like everyone else, they have to go through the scrutineering process. Scrutineering is the process by which all the vehicles are inspected and classified by the race officials. Here, the officials check tire sizes, the GPS equipment fitted on the vehicle, and also if the required safety standards have been met by the contestants, failure to which the contestant is disqualified from participating in the race.
Scrutineering is all about, do you have the safety kit with you? Does the car have a roll cage? Do you have fire extinguishers? Do you have your medical kit? Do you have the flags that in case of anything you can display them and then you can get the rescue? And more so in the medical part of it, all the members got to fill the medical cards, their blood groups and things like that, and the insurance cover as well.
There are different kinds of vehicles in this competition of all ages, shapes, sizes, modified and unmodified, in order to compete in this rally. For example, would you guess that this was a Range Rover 1978 edition? And this one? A Land Rover. What about now? Like Peter and John, this event has attracted participants from across Europe, Asia and the Americas, and also the host country, Kenya. They are gathered here not only to have fun, but also to solve a very serious problem of deforestation by conserving forests so as to save Kenya's water towers. By 1985, the Aberdare Ranges, a forested region in central Kenya, was on the verge of complete annihilation. Wild animals from the forest were destroying hundreds of acres of food crops in the neighboring farms, and, in return, endangered species, especially the rhino, were being poached with reckless abandon. Human, wildlife and nature conflict was at its pinnacle. Nairobi, Kenya's capital city with over 1.5 million inhabitants at the time, out of which 95% got their water supply from rivers emanating from the Aberdare forest. Ken Cool, a Kenyan of English descent and a passionate conservationist, came up with the idea of organizing a rally with a very ambitious aim of building an electric fence all around the Aberdare forest. After consulting with rally enthusiast Rob Combs about this noble idea, he founded the Rhino Ark, a charitable trust that would oversee the project and also manage the Rhino Charge as a competition. While the rally started with raising awareness and protecting the endangered rhino, the event has now evolved to conserving Kenya's forests, also known as water towers, and, in the long run, stopping the human, wildlife and nature conflicts.
Rhino Ark is a trust established in 1988 to conserve Kenya mountain forests, also known as Kenya water towers. The Rhino Charge since the beginning has been a truly homegrown Kenyan event.
John's vehicle is waiting to be cleared at scrutineering so that it is permitted to compete in the challenge the next morning. But these vehicles are never ready overnight. Preparations for the rally take many months, and both John's and Peter's vehicles have taken a while before being ready for this tough competition. In preparing the vehicles for the charge, three key areas are critical for modification: the car's suspension, steering, and the roll cage for safety purposes. Suspension adjustments give the car critical ground clearance to go over tough rocks and boulders. The roll cage is for protection in case, as it so often happens, the vehicles overturn. The steering wheel adjustments allow the driver's quick flexibility with maneuvers round bends and cliffs. John bought this vehicle 15 years ago from a German at a metal scrapyard.
I've always wanted to do the Rhino Charge, but I could see those Land Rovers who were getting stuck. They were not strong enough. Then I met another gentleman in Mombasa and he told me, no, a Unimog is the best. Forget about all these cars, get a Unimog and you're done.
It is a 1959 Unimog, one of the strongest vehicles ever built. Unimogs were originally designed by the Germans at the end of World War II to be used in their farms because it was the only vehicle that could go through the terrain after the heavy bombardment of Nazi Germany during the World War.
Then I got one, and then I tried to fix it. I couldn't fix it. It required a lot of spares and a lot of things. So I sold it to somebody who did the charge with it. On my way to pick my paycheck, I saw this one on a Scorpion. This particular one on a Scorpion. Then I bought it for 50,000 shillings. It did not have an engine, it did not have tires, it did not have anything. Then I started working on it. It took me 2 months and it was running. So we decided to take the car to go and test. When we went there, it rolled. It rolled. So every time every event we went, it rolled almost every event we went, and then people are like, that car that keeps on rolling, because these things, they roll all the time. Yeah, they roll all the time. Yeah, so first of all, your roll cage got to be good, and you can see we have two, one outside, one inside. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
The rally is only a week away, but John's car does not seem to be ready.
We've done almost everything. Now we are left with the paint work, which is going to get finished in 2 days. And there's some weldings, which you can see we're still doing. And basically, we are ready to go.
Meanwhile, across town, Peter Kinyua is also readying his vehicle for the rally.
Should I tighten it?
Peter is a businessman in the agricultural sector and mainly handles the coffee industry. He has contracted a special mechanic to prepare his vehicle for him and has also managed to get sponsorship for the event from a leading telecommunications company in Kenya at the last minute.
This is a garage where we have put the car together this year. We've actually spent quite a bit on it this year because we've changed the whole steering system to a hydraulic steering. This is the final weekend of testing before we go out next week.
My name is Sophie Kinyua. I'm married to the team leader and the owner of the car. His name's Peter, and my role really is chief fundraising. I'm the chief fundraiser. I make sure that the team has collected enough money for Rhino Ark, because ultimately it's about the money. You may notice from the records that we haven't finished in the last 4 or 5 years because we always have mechanical problems. So the car breaks down, and it's very disappointing to write letters to our sponsors that thank you for your sponsorship, but yet again, the team did not finish because of XYZ. So this year, we have Safaricom M-Pesa as our main sponsor, and I have a real obligation, we have as a team, a real obligation to try and make sure that we finish.
Peter and his team are taking the vehicle for a test drive. They want to test the vehicle's ability in race-like conditions to see if it is up to the challenge.
Today we were testing the car to see whether everything that we wanted to work was working. So you saw us winching up the cliff. What we were trying to do is create a situation like we will be faced with next week.
So basically a winch is a motor with a nylon rope or wire rope which you tie against, let's say, a tree or a rock, and it gives extra pull to the vehicle. So when the wheels don't have traction, you can use the winch to pull the vehicle out of the difficulty it has found itself in.
We virtually rebuilt the whole car from last year. Last year we had lost the rear axle. So now we've taken both the axles off and re-welded everything with what is supposed to be the best welding company in Kenya. So the testing you do now is a lot about testing the new bits on the car, make sure that the repairs we've done are correct and that what we have modified works correct.
A racing team in the Rhino Charge has 6 members.
Basically, a Rhino Charge team is made up of the driver, obviously. There is the navigator, that's the person who determines what the shortest distance from one checkpoint to the other is. And then you have the runners. The runners are the ones who run in front of the vehicle in order to find the easiest way through while being cognizant of shortest distance.
It is 4 days to the race, and John has neither done a test drive nor finished fixing the Unimog. The team is now under pressure to complete fixing it and are hard at work. Although John's garage and home is based in Nairobi, he spends most of his professional life working and living in Mombasa.
Okay, Joe akikuja amwambie hii gari kila kitu yake iweke position. Mwendo anakuja kuweka hiyo windscreen alafu ndio iende test.
But even with this tight pressure, John has to step out to attend to a different matter. John is an electrical engineer by profession, but has since changed to become a construction contractor.
I came here in 1985 from doing a project in Dar es Salaam, Ubungo. Then we came to do a project here. Then when we finished, I found the place good, and I bought land and I settled.
Today, he is meeting a client from a major hotel in the area about a potential project. The hotel's management wants to build a perimeter wall so that they can preserve the forest that surrounds the golf course from encroachment and illegal loggers.
This is a sacred forest called Kayadiani. Has been reserved as a sacred for the local community, the Diko community. At least we need to reserve the forest. It remains naturally the way it has been.
Even in his career, John has the chance to do one of the things he loves the most. That is, conserving the environment. John's construction company is also about to complete this mega complex that will house a local university. But within the basement of the building are several Unimogs which he uses for transporting construction materials and also leases them out to local mining companies.
This Unimog you use for gear lever to move. So it's not something you can just start like any other car start and then you put a gear and move. No. You have to be trained in it. The Unimog that I made for Rhino Charge is only one, and I've never changed it. I still use the same Unimog. The others, they are big. You cannot use it for the charge. We use them for our construction business, and they are also hired out to the people who are doing the explorations. So anybody looking for Unimog, they know, try here, and they'll always get, and they're not disappointed. So they keep coming.
Here, we make yet another discovery. One of John's favorite toys, a rally car which he uses at the local Rhino Charge rallies.
I think with the rallies, it started when we were small boys growing up with rally cars, seeing them passing. My father was in the military. He was an engineer in the army, and you see in the army you're trained everything. So with that, he was able to show us how to do some of the things.
Well, the Rhino Charge was started by a couple people led by the late Ken Koo. And what they were thinking about at the time is they were sitting and thinking the only way to protect the Aberdares or the water catchment areas is to create a fence around it. And they thought that the best way to do it would be to have a 4x4 event where people would go and enjoy themselves but raise money.
I'm down here at the beach. My family is in Nairobi. They are doing the water from Aberdare. And I'm one of the people who have contributed to that, water. A few years ago, water was being rationed in Nairobi, and I'm down here, I'm like, what? Do they have water today? And also those other people out there, you ask them, where is the water coming? They say, from the tap. But you know, there's more than that. This water doesn't come from the tap. It's a conservation work we're doing.
Now we got a list of 28 points that we need to fix on the car before the Rhino Charge itself. And then on Thursday, the car starts traveling up towards the competition. And on Friday, we go up and we meet the car on Friday up at the competition site.
It is now only a day to the start of the Rhino Charge, and many things are not going smoothly in John's garage. They are yet to brand the car or do a test drive because the mechanic responsible for fixing the windscreen has not shown up.
We fitted all those, we fitted the seats. Some of them, they need adjustment. Some of them broke during the last event. So we had to weld them and fit them back. Now they're okay. They are well fitted. And seat belt, which is mandatory. We had to make sure they are well fitted. Basically, our team, the same people we've had, is only two people who are not coming in this year. Otherwise, all the other team members, we have them. They're there. They're going to come. And as you can see, they're all here, trying to make make sure the car is ready for the charge. Me, I'm the team leader. And then we got the co-driver, who is not here, but will be there. The one who now navigates is Anthony. He's not here, but will be coming. And then we have the mechanic, Gio Kimani is the mechanic. He's there. And then we have the other runners. They're called runners, the people who now show us where to pass with the car.
They work frantically into the night so that they are ready to make the journey to the race venue the next day.
As we are always ready, and we are ready for whatever we'll find ahead of us, we are ready for it.
John and team have completed all the repairs and have managed to travel to Kalepo, a region in northern Kenya, 450 kilometers from Nairobi, where this year's competition will take place.
We are here at Kalepo Conservancy. It's a stunning area near the Matthews Ranch. So actually, the place where we are today is a critical area in terms of conservation.
The location where the Rhino Charge is held every year is usually a very closely guarded secret by the event's organizers. It is only revealed a few days to the event so that the contestants cannot scout the location and know the kind of obstacles to expect during the race. Also, these locations keep changing each year, and it is always held in some of the remotest and toughest landscape terrains across Kenya's countryside. The first requirement for contestants and spectators is to register and be accredited by the race organizers. John and his team have already been accredited and have to set up camp, a task that puts the Unimog to its first test.
The journey has been long. We started from Nairobi yesterday morning. We got here 5:30, some of us. The rest of the team, they came after they've closed the check-in desk.
Peter and his team are already settled in their luxurious campsite, complete with dining sets and other social amenities. For Peter and the team, this is not just a rally competition, but also a fun family outing in the bush.
My family love it. My children have been going since my son went for the first time when he was 6 months. My daughter, she was probably 9 months, but we've gone every year. June 1st, we've always gone to the Rhino Charge. And so in our camp, it's a family camp. We just bring the children and everyone there. Yeah.
John and Peter did not finish the challenge last year.
Last year we had a suspension failure. The car was not good at all. Last year it was not good. Our suspension collapsed. And then the steering was not good either. So when we came back after the last event, we had to sort out the suspension and sort out the steering. That's where we had a problem.
One year I came third. I have come in the middle. I've come right at the back.
The eventual winner was Alan McKittrick of car number 5, whose team also holds the record in fundraising since the Rhino Charge started in 1989, so far raising over $1.2 million.
Every year we are getting more than the previous year. Last year we raised 102 million shillings. If the growth is continued, we should expect in excess of 110 million shillings this year.
Amazingly, by the year 2008, with over $10 million raised, the Aberdare Forest electric fence had been completed, covering over 400 kilometers and making it the largest fenced forest area conserved in the world. But it did not end there. More forests in Mount Kenya and Mau Eburu region of central Kenya needed to be fenced. And this is why these rally enthusiasts have gathered here today to raise more money through the Rhino Charge. Both Peter and John are wary of the fact that the competition is hard, but are optimistic that each of them will be the eventual winner.
Well, we want to win. We want to win. I think this year we have a very good chance. I think we have a very good team. We have some very strong runners, because the main thing is not sitting in a car, what you're doing. We need people, you need someone to go ahead and say, yes, on the GPS you can see that the checkpoint is in that direction, but is there a way through there? So there's two things we're looking to, having fun, but at the same time, we want to raise money towards this cause.
With the people we are doing conservation together, we'll keep on supporting one another, because by supporting that, the initiative up there, we are getting something down here. It's just like that. That's how it is.